You're listening to a Listen to Sun 969 exclusive to our YouTube.
Yes. What are you going to say today that's going to cause a stir?
I don't know. I generally try and think of something that's naughty or I shouldn't say or whatnot, but I've kind of got nothing today.
Because yesterday you made a big call.
Yeah, what did I say? You keep saying this. What did I do?
Your big call was that about the NRL.
Oh, the day of the game?
Yes, and the time.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
You don't have it on a Sunday. You have it Sunday
I stand by it. Yeah.
And you have it on a Saturday night. You've moved into SEN territory. They make big calls every day.
Yeah, well, I stand by what I said.
It's called The Big Call with Jonesy and whoever, whatever their names are. Or, what's his name? Jared or...
Does it matter?
What's the other guy?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're not on our radio station, so let's not talk about them.
What's the guy?
I don't know. I don't listen to old people's stations.
Oh, they're not old people.
SEN.
SEN has young people listening to it too.
It's an old person station.
It's a sportsman station.
It's an old person
station. It's
station.
pretty much a male station.
Yep, it's an old man station.
It's a 25 plus male station.
Old man station.
Anyone who, sadly, and we should get, this is a good topic in a way, anyone who likes to have a bet, because betting has become a real curse in our country.
Yes.
And in many countries too. Betting industry is huge. I used to work in the betting industry, so I've got a little bit of an opinion on it, and the sadness that it brings to people, I feel, I took calls from people on the phone, putting their bets through, where they had to whisper. That meant that they didn't want someone to hear them.
People don't need to do that now, online sports bet.
But the live betting is only available legally by phone. So they have to ring and make a bet.
Yeah, right.
So when they're calling up and the sad ones for me was when you could hear a kid in their arms, clearly in their arms, crying or whatever, and you're just putting $2,000 on whatever to win whatever, and $2,000. I don't know about you, but that was a lot of money.
Yeah, but you're making some awfully big assumptions. You're assuming that the person doesn't have $2,000 to spend just because they're holding a crying child. Kids cry.
Well, the kids do cry, but wouldn't you be better?
Like you're painting a picture in your mind of some devastation that could not be true.
Every phone operator said the same thing. We all didn't like to hear that. We didn't like to hear.
Of course, it's not something you want to hear.
But we could see, like, you can click on a button and you can see how much they've spent in the whole lifetime of being a punter with that company.
Yeah.
So most people, in fact, I never saw anyone who was in front. Not one. I didn't look a lot.
Usually how gambling works.
Yeah. And the ones who are doing really well, like you might have some high rollers that are over the life of maybe 10 years spent $1 to $2 million.
Yeah.
And out of that, they might have got back 900. They're the ones that were successful. They've probably lost 100,000 over 10 years. Is what, 10,000 a year? They say it's good fun. A lot of people see gaming as fun.
I agree, and I would have to say that probably because of your experiences of working, of where you've worked and such, and you've seen like the darker side of it, your opinion on it would most definitely be skewed. But I feel like this is one of those situations where some of the some ruin it for the many. Like, sure. I find that, like, I know many people who love to have a bit of a flatto, a bit of a gamble, but don't spend crazy amounts and can still pay their mortgage.
Well, we talk about the official term is problem gambler. Most people are not problem gamblers.
Exactly.
Most people are not addicted to the point where they're losing everything.
No, you have a minority that are. Same with alcohol and everything else.
Well, it becomes part of a fun thing. Go watch some sport with a mate and you and your mate put a bet on and you have a drink maybe. So there's a few things that you do, So it's okay. Maybe go out for a meal and something at the pub or whatever. Most people have it under control, but the ones who don't, that's where the issue is. And for me, I feel like there's not enough. Honestly, there's not enough safety nets for people like that. Look, we were trained very vigorously because the government regulation, you can imagine, is very, very tight.
Yeah, for sure.
But we were trained vigorously to identify problem gamblers over the phone. Like, imagine within an 18-second bet, you can identify someone. Generally, you wouldn't be able to do that.
No.
But it's more so for the customer service staff who, when there's a problem, these people come through, these problem gamblers, and the way they're elevated, they might be crying, they might be screaming, they might be swearing at you. Those sort of people will get, and then we'll exclude them.
Yeah, for sure.
They get excluded, but it doesn't stop them going to another gambling place and doing that. So
especially because there are so many different places now.
But in the physical world, venues can exclude too. When people go, whether it be a pokies venue or a casino or something like that, you can self-exclude too. And all of the online betting companies have that self-exclusion ability too. So, and you cannot pull yourself out of it. Once you're locked into it, you can't come back in and do it. Or you can set limits. So limits can be set too, which is a really good safety mechanism, which in your daily limit might be $200 is the most you can spend in a day or something like that. But I think it's a real problem, particularly for kids being exposed to it. We know that the rules have been changed with live television now. With betting, you can't have live odds anymore during a sporting event, which is great. That stopped because kids were talking in the playground about the odds on this and the odds on that. They weren't even betting.
It teaches them math.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Little bit of that. But look, most people have it under control. Yeah. But it still scares me when someone rings up and puts a $30,000 bet on North Melbourne to win.
Yeah, that's
and
a bit
then
crazy.
5 minutes later you see North Melbourne loses.
You'd feel sick.
You do. Yeah. You feel really bad. But you learn to.
But if someone has $30,000 to put on, of all teams, North Melbourne, then they've got $30,000 to lose.
True. And ironically, the week before they put $30,000 on another team that won.
Yeah, and you don't know someone's personal banking. They could be an absolute millionaire.
They could be.
You don't know.
Be. But look, the saddest thing is when they have a big win like that, we try and stop them from
spending it
straight away. Because they'll say, I just won $30,000. I'll go and put it on another thing. And lose it all. So,
double or nothing. Yeah.
So there's a lot of that. Some people have a really good day and then they just keep spending it and lose it all. So these are things that are in place, but it's a really tough industry, but it will continue to get more and more regulated as time goes on, and it just concerns me a little bit when these things happen and everyone's losing. But most people have it under control. But that's my big call for the day. I think there should be more control, more ways of assisting problem gamblers.
Look, and we all thought it was going to be me that was going to start something today. And on that note, that was
my rant.
that was your rant from Nigel on part 2 of your morning ramble on Listen to Sun 969.